Hello, everybody. Are we live or not? If you can see us, no, no one, everybody's gone. Okay, can't tell if this is going. Can't. Here we go. Hi, everyone. Welcome. We did it. We're live. It's not memorized. Hi, I'm Ellen,
I'm Richard,
and we are.
Venerable Voyagers.
Welcome aboard. We just thought we'd get together, get a little information about us, and a few people, let more people join in. But just to give you a little background of who we are, what we've been up to, and what our future looks like. So, um, as some of you know, we started this journey how?
Cruising. We love cruising. That's our primary focus. But we love to travel. We love history. We love some of the finer things. This was a journey started because not just because, but after we had spent a lot of time not doing the things that we love, traveling, we decided it was time to do that once again. And now we're attempting to do it with a vengeance.
With a vengeance, there you go, exactly. We started back traveling after like 20 years of doing the responsible thing of raising our kids and working. And so last year, you've been seeing a lot of what we did. We went to Alaska last year. We also took a once in a lifetime cruise over to the Mediterranean, Greece and Italy, which was a fabulous trip. And then
And Turkey.
That's right, Kushadasi. Fantastic place. If you have any questions during this time, please just put the word question and sit it in the chat, and we'll try to get to them as much as we can. And then we went on our MSC weekend of fun of waiting for elevators.
It was a cruise ship, and it was on the ocean. It could have been worse.
That's right. We were on the ocean. That was the big thing. And then we did a fantastic, probably I have to say, it is my favorite cruise we've done. We did a transatlantic. We went from Fort Lauderdale all the way to Rotterdam, and we stopped in multiple places on the British Isle, right? British Channel.
Yep.
And then we got to go to Le Havre. And very personally for me, we went to Omaha Beach, where my dad landed in World War II, which was incredible. And we got to see the cemetery, and that was just a wonderful trip. So we'll talk a little bit about that today. And we're also going to be talking about what the future holds and some life changes that have happened in the last month, and what our plans are for the future. So with that said, we're just going to keep going here. So let's talk about our transatlantic. Where did we go? Where did we start? Who did we go with?
Well, it started right here in Central Florida. We began on the Bright Line.
Ooh, that's right.
Which was a very nice, comfortable, and easy way to travel all the way down to Port Everglades, which is Fort Lauderdale. That's where we embarked on the transatlantic. This was a Holland America voyage. This was on the Nieuw Statendam, a Pinnacle class ship. And very nice port, very nice ship, very nice line.
Very easy. It was, I have to say, that first day was the easiest. If you live in Orlando or in the Central Florida area and you want to take a cruise out of Fort Lauderdale or Miami, we cannot recommend enough, or even more highly than we already do, the Bright Line. That was just no turnpike, no I-95, no tolls. We literally just very easily got into Fort Lauderdale. We got down. I had ordered an Uber. The Uber was there within 10 minutes, and we were at the port in 10 or 15 minutes, right?
We were.
Dropped off our luggage, and then we were through the lines, and we had to wait for the crew to say it was time to go. But it was just a very easy morning.
was it probably an hour or so in the waiting area there.
Yeah, with the waiting for the ship to be ready.
There was a lot of people waiting to board, but it was relatively orderly. I commend them doing a nice job on getting everybody embarked and to the buffet.
Well, we sent that video out, and we put the video out of our embarkation day where he had the brightest idea of all, and we'll always do this, I think, coming forth on any How in America. Just go to the dive in, and have yourself a great hot dog, or if there is a New York pizza
and deli,
go to that. Because it was great. It was we got there early enough that we were only in group 2. So as the video shows you, and if you haven't watched that, go to our video channel and you'll see the embarkation out of Fort Lauderdale. It was just the easiest thing. But the funniest thing was, hi Debbie. The funny was just the actual cruise. So we were like, how many days at sea did we have?
Let's see. There was we had 2 days at sea. We arrived in Bermuda.
That's right. We did.
It was a nice day, nice walk. There's a historic sort of a fort-like compound that you went and visited. The pirates are the theme of that island, and it was nice. We didn't stay off the ship too long there, but we did want to set foot on the island of Bermuda and take a look around, and it was very, very nice. I'd like to go see a little bit more of it sometime when we have a little bit more time, but
yeah, there was another ship in port. I think it was a Norwegian ship that was in port.
Yeah,
and that area just around King's Wharf gets very crowded. But yeah, I think we didn't venture out. We weren't too far, but I think in the future we will, because it's small enough that we can go and do things. But lovely people in the shops and everything were really nice.
Absolutely.
And then we cruised for 6 days.
6 days at sea.
And the first port was Cobh, Ireland. And this was a change because we were supposed to be going somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so excited for this change because he got to go kiss the Blarney Stone.
That I did.
Ireland. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to go back. The people were phenomenal. Green, emerald green. That's what I remember. And it was April. It was like the start of spring.
It was cold. It was downright cold.
And it was tight walking up those little steps to go up.
But it was a beautiful place, County Cork, and the excursion. I'd recommend it highly if you take a Holland America Transatlantic and you are fortunate enough to stop in Cobh, County Cork, and you get a chance to go to Blarney Castle. Even if you don't want to kiss the Blarney Stone, it is an amazing compound with some amazing history. It's really quite interesting.
I didn't go up.
I did.
I was afraid to go up because I was afraid I was going to get stuck. I'm not the smallest person in the room, but because it was quite tight going up there. But I did film him. And again, let us know, guys, if you want to see an excursion video, because I actually was able to watch him kiss the stone, and somebody above actually took your picture too, right?
Yeah. They have gentlemen there that help you to, because this is a very difficult process. You need to lay down on your back and stretch out. And looking back, you can see, I think they said it was something like 300 feet. I don't know if it's that high. I'm not sure the height, but it was a long way down. And I don't like heights too well. But there was nothing below you there. And the guys.
Well, those 2 bars.
Yeah, you hold on to the back, you hold on to these bars. And you got to get way out there to be able to kiss the stone. But
it was so beautiful. The property too. There was gardens that you can go to. Once he kissed the stone, he came down, and then we took a little bit walk. But we could have walked. There was a lot of gardens that you could do. But just getting back to where the center of town, to the end of the castle area, it was just beautiful. And the pictures we have are just amazing. They have shops that you can go to where they're actually doing the woolen, they call them jumpers. So for those of you in the US, jumpers are sweaters. For those in the UK, you know what I'm talking about. Made of wool, and our guide told us what about the oh no, it was in Guernsey, but it was the same thing, same premise. You don't wash them, you just wear them until you need to burn them. It was really kind of funny, but that was a fun day. It was a great excursion, and really, 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 really want to get back to Ireland. That I kind of felt really at home there. It was really a lot of fun.
I like edification when you go on. I like to learn stuff. I like to see history. I like to take in the culture a little bit of where you're at, and be. I'm not big with crowds, but I kind of like to get a feel of life there, and I kind of got a feel, even just going from the port to the castle, to the Blarney Castle, and back, and getting a little bit of a history lesson from the guide on the tour bus. It was quite nice.
The coolest thing was we were one of the first ships of the year coming in because it started the season. As we were sailing away, everyone in the town came to, the port area, and you see multi-generations. You see grandpas holding kids on the wall and people waving and,
following you down the beach. It was really
it was really great. And getting in the morning, we had a balcony, so I was able to film in the morning, just how beautiful it was. But it was really cool. It was really cool to see that, from the town. So, and being welcomed, especially nowadays, there's a lot of some cities that don't want to see cruise ships, but this city really embraced it. So, who was our next stop? The next day was Guernsey, right?
Actually, it was Guernsey.
Yeah, our very first tender experience. We were in the lifeboats. Yeah. Guernsey is off of United Kingdom. It is not ruled by the United Kingdom. Our tour guide was very adamant about that.
Yep, and there's a history there. So they are a little bit upset with the way they were handled during World War II. It's the only part of Great Britain that was occupied by the Germans.
And our excursion that day was really following the path of the German occupation. And that was probably, I have to say, was the eeriest feeling I've ever experienced on, we went to a hospital, was it not?
It was an underground
hospital. And when our pictures, we will show you, when it was black in some of those pictures. And you could feel there was certain room that I couldn't go in. I refused to go in, I think, more than anything.
We found out kind of why the feeling. I mean, this was basically, it's a large multi-tunnel system that was dug by captured prisoners, used as slave labor, and not treated well, as you can imagine. And when they happened to pass away down there, they didn't really have a way to bring them out, so they just buried them in the walls.
And so our driver, when we came out of the tunnel, asked by a raise of hand, who felt strange in the tunnels, who felt uncomfortable, and a lot of us. And he says, "Well, let me explain to you why." And he told us the story. It was very sad. You see, they had items, right? Personal items, yeah, in cases. They showed you people, and then he told us the story of the American that was tortured. But that was a very dark. And then we went on further to the beaches of Guernsey, right? And where you could see the turrets.
Yeah,
right?
There's a castle or a fort right near the port. I kept thinking we were going to go there, but we went everywhere else but there.
We were in a big bus, and the roads were really small.
Yeah, something very interesting about some of these towns, if you haven't been there, they actually have signs to where the streets are really too narrow for more than one vehicle, but it's two-way traffic. So the signs tell which side of the road needs to put two wheels up onto the curb to let the other vehicles pass on the other side. It was quite interesting. It took me a while to figure out. And this big tour bus, had to put its wheels up on the curb so a little teeny car could go past on the other side. It was quite amazing.
It was really it was a lovely place. And we even said we want to go back there again because it was just, the people were amazing. Our tour guide was a riot. He was so funny. And you could see, and I guess we had a kindred spirit as Americans with them because he was very independent and they were very independent people. But talked about the Guernsey cow, the Jersey cows, because this is what they call Jersey part of the English Channel.
And the Guernsey goats.
And the Guernsey goats. So that was a fun night at.
I'll tell you, they have this rebel. If you don't know me, I'm a bit of a rebel, and they just have this rebel attitude there, and I like it.
Yeah, it was
refreshing.
Very welcoming. Oh my gosh, very, very welcoming to us. And then we were the only one, I think, we were the only ones anchored. So I think we were the only ship in port that day.
Only ship in port that day.
Yep, and everybody came out.
I got another little tidbit. Now check this out. So we checked before we went. What type of currency do we need? So. Great Britain, but not really, but really. It's part of Great Britain, but not ruled by Great Britain, or by England. British pound sterling, killer. We got some British pounds sterling, took them with us. Then we've come to find out they take Guernsey pounds. Well, Guernsey pounds they will take British pounds, no problem, but they'll give you change in Guernsey pounds. Guess where Guernsey pounds are good at? Guess where they can be used? Guernsey. So if you don't spend them all, you have a nice little souvenir that, unless you go back to Guernsey, it'll be a souvenir.
It was a very nice area. It was someplace I never dreamed of going there. So it was so great that that was one of our ports of call. And then after Guernsey, we went to
Le Havre was next.
Le Havre. Okay, so
France.
We were in France, and we decided to do the excursion that went to Omaha Beach. The excursion was called Bloody Omaha. Mm-hmm. For those who don't know, my dad was in a part of the second wave of and landed on Omaha Beach.
Normandy invasion.
So
changed the world.
It was I wanted to go there. I've always wanted to go there. And when we finally, and it was our tour was the only one that actually went and let us get off the bus and walk on the beach.
That's the reason we chose this one. It was a very long day. It was a lot of riding the bus.
But it was because it's a distance from Le Havre. It's about 3 hours, 2 hours.
I don't think it was quite.
No, about an hour and a half. I think it was an hour and a half.
Paris is like 3 hours
That's right.
away, but this was probably an hour and a half to 2 hours on the bus. It was long. It was a good distance, but
yeah, it was
well worth it.
It was a fantastic tour that we went on, but getting on that beach was really. I can't put the words into what it felt like. There's a lot of people that and they instill in their youth that the people of France are free because of only one thing, and that is the American and the Allied forces. And they are very respectful, and they teach that to their students. How do we know that? Well, on the beach, there was a circle of people to the left of where we were standing, and it was all youngsters. And our guide told us when we got on the bus is that they require in school that these kids come to Omaha Beach, to all the beaches of Normandy, and then they go to the American Cemetery, just to remind them that freedom is not free, and it came at the cost of many people who died that day.
There were several school groups at the cemetery when we were there.
Yeah, we went from the beach to the we went to the what was the name of the museum we stopped at? Overlord Museum, which was wild. We have lots of footage from there too. And then there's we went to the cemetery, and wow, is all I can say is it's a very, very peaceful place, isn't it?
Yeah, there was so many people going in and out, but you could hear the birds singing and chirping. It was just kind of a cloudy, cool day, but there was like a beam of sunlight came through here and there, illuminated the cemetery areas.
When we were with a group of people, and a lot of them were vets, Vietnam vets. They were older, a lot older than we were, and
Imagine that, we were some of the youngsters on this one.
when we were, we'll get into that when we talk about the ship. But as we were walking, it's a path that you walk up to get to the main area, and there were school kids coming, and the respect, they all went to the side, and they let, especially the gentlemen that had their hats, and they let them go first. And again, our guide explained that, we teach them reverence, and they're so polite. It was just, I wish it was something that we could do here a lot, because it's amazing. But
We'd love for our school kids to be able to have that experience. It's really, really powerful.
and the cemetery itself was it just kept going. The crosses, the Stars of David, the headstones just kept going and going and going. And Rich got a lot of good footage from it.
You turn the corner and there's more.
Yeah. Just that was very, it was very close to our hearts. His dad, Rich's dad, also fought in World War II. So, this was just, it was something we wanted to do. And I'm so glad we spent that day. It was a long day, but I'm so glad we went. It was just a spectacular day, and something, if you have not gone, see if it's on one of your cruises, because you definitely want to do it. Definitely want to do it. And then we got back on the ship, and we went to Dover.
Dover was the next day.
Yep, and we pulled right into the center of Dover and got off, and you could see the castle. We were supposed to get off, but we didn't get off the ship because we were tired from the day before.
Yeah, we did. We had an excursion planned and booked, but decided to take the day to rest. And six days at sea weren't enough. I guess we needed one extra day.
And then from there, the next stop was Rotterdam, was it not?
Right, yeah, Rotterdam for disembarkation.
So it was in total 14 nights?
It was
14 nights, 15 days.
Yeah.
And it started in the ship itself was the Nieuw Statendam. So give the stats of this Nieuw Statendam.
I know that it holds about 2,650 guests. If it's at maximum capacity, where they have second and third guests in the rooms that allow them, it can go up to around a little over 3,000. There weren't that many on the ship. It wasn't even a full sailing. I believe they said there was around 2,000 on this sailing. For some reason, it seemed more crowded than that to me, but once we learned to navigate it was quite nice.
You learn the idiosyncrasies of your fellow cruise mates after a couple of days.
Yeah.
We learned that we probably shouldn't go at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock to go eat dinner. Go with that in between time.
Especially not on a transatlantic.
The crew of the Statendam, oh my gosh, they couldn't do enough. We had the best room stewards.
Yep.
He ate sushi as much as he possibly can. So Tamarind, Nami Sushi, fantastic service there. Absolutely.
If you're unfamiliar, Nami Sushi, Tamarind are extra pay restaurants, or what are called specialty dining. But well worth it. We did try each one of the specialty dining restaurants on the ship, especially seeing that we had so many days at sea. And we can give you a little flavor of what each one was like. Do you want to go through those?
Sure, why not?
What did you think of Tamarind?
Tamarind is their Asian, and it was really very good. I had the curry because that was the chicken curry. That was like, because we had it the night before at Nami Sushi, and that was so good. And the service was wonderful. I mean, it's just, but you really liked Nami Sushi though, didn't you?
Yeah, yep. That's Nami Sushi is inside of Tamarind. It's off to the one side, and it's really literally like a sushi bar where you sit up at stools next to this, and they have artisans that are literally crafting these sushi by hand, like right in front of you. Maybe not all of it's for you, although I wish it was, because it was outstanding. And they very delicate attention to detail. The gal that was putting ours together right there in front of us, literally with like tweezers, perfectly placing the garnish so that it looked just beautiful, and it tasted even better than it looked.
Yeah, that was, and I even had sushi, which was,
she doesn't eat sushi,
so weird, but yeah, it was fantastic, and the service there was impeccable. So yeah, definitely would say if there is a Nami Sushi, definitely go on it. You definitely do it. It's well worth it. I think we had to pay for it because that was not included in any of the stuff, and it was paid for as you go, right?
Yep.
So as you order. So I think for the two of us, it was what, $60?
Yeah, 56. Even with
And
the tip that
he had stuff like lobster sushi and
lobster, soft shell crab,
scallop, and
you name it. It was it was outstanding.
so,
they had more normal ones, but they had these exotic ones that were really cool.
Oh, the firecracker or a dragon roll.
Those dragon rolls and that are pretty common, but the baked lobster rolls are not a common sushi fare, and they were outstanding. Looked beautiful, tasted better.
Absolutely. And then Rudy's. Rudy's.
We're going to run through the good ones before we get to the. Okay, Rudy's. Yeah. This is more of a French style restaurant.
Magnifique. Absolutely wonderful. Absolutely. Service, and not stuffy service. Okay. So like when we compare that to the French restaurant on Regent stuffy. Rudy's not stuffy. Really, but top-notch service. Top-notch. What a great night that was.
The waiter was outstanding, very personable, nice, right there, Johnny on the spot with absolutely everything. Perfectly timed. And go ahead.
No, let's just say everything was timed perfectly. We ate, I mean, everything that they gave us, and I didn't have a reaction. I was starting to have one. It was time for us to leave. I have a shellfish allergy, so it's really tough to do small restaurants. We made it all the way through.
This was small and closed, and some folks ended up seated right next to us that were eating a lot of lobster.
So luckily we were towards the end of our meal, and we were able to leave because on the Westerdam, that's what happened. There was a big table of 14 people eating 14 different types of lobster, and I got nailed. So yeah, that was. But Rudy's was definitely well worth going to Rudy's.
Excellent wine pairings, and I'm not. You always get dessert because you got to try them, but I'm not that big of a dessert person, and I ate every last bite of the crepe Suzette, and it was outstanding.
It was really good.
I'm trying to think, it had like a peach.
I think so. Can't remember.
It's like a peach.
It was April, guys. So try to remember it all. We know we had really good food. The other specialty was it Nami, Tamarind, Rudy's,
Pinnacle.
Yeah, but Pinnacle wasn't my favorite. I was disappointed. I'm going to be honest. I was disappointed in Pinnacle. Your timing and teamwork was what was key on Westerdam with Pinnacle. It worked as a team. Managers worked with servers. You never knew. Everybody was intertwined, and it was a nice, fine dance that was happening.
So let's step back just a quick minute. Pinnacle on the Westerdam was top notch.
Oh yeah, exceptional.
So we assumed that it would be top notch here too. But what happened?
Well, the director of restaurant services came in, and how we know, because they had many workshops where they introduced the crew.
Yeah, meet the crew.
And she came in, and it was very visible. She disrupted service, and they got out of rhythm. Things started coming out late in the kitchen. Things started going crazy, haywire, and it took them a while. It was about a good 15, 20, 25 minutes. Mm-hmm. And then they started to get their rhythm back, and everybody was hitting their marks. And so it was I don't blame the staff. I don't blame the kitchen. I blame the individual who came in and should have kept on the back. She was talking to people in the front of the restaurant, making them visibly upset. She should have taken it and gone to the back of the kitchen to do it. And what we're saying is not anything that we didn't put on the survey to let them know. So I'm not saying anything on school. But that was definitely her doing.
The other thing too is the quality of the food was not specialty restaurant quality. This is supposed to be a filet mignon, okay? And it was fatty and grisly and overdone.
Yeah, it was a disappointment. Definitely a disappointment.
Not what I would have expected, especially with the experience we had at the same venue on Westerdam when it was so good.
So that's actually the key. You know, from ship to ship, because you have different crew at each ship, you may have a different experience on every time you go. So your experience may be different than ours. But for that night, that cruise, that wasn't the top place to be. Canaletto was excellent.
On Westerdam, it was excellent.
Here's where we differ. I thought it was really good. You found your best wine that you liked there.
It was good. Yes, I will give them outstanding credit. They didn't have the wine that I wanted. They suggested another one, and it was even better than the one that I had requested. So that was killer. The food was not bad. The service was great. Won't knock the service or the staff at all on that one. I just think the quality of the food was not quite as good as it was on Westerdam to me.
Yeah, the Westerdam experience was stellar. I'll agree with that. It wasn't as the experience on Nieuw Statendam wasn't as stellar as it was on the Westerdam. But still, for the value, can't beat it.
Canaletto is the most affordable specialty venue on the Nieuw Statendam.
So we're at 32 minutes, so we don't want to go too far. But anyway, as far as the rest of the food, main dining room was hit and miss.
Yeah, and it was
hit and miss.
I think it was a little more miss than hit. So how's everybody out there doing? Are we giving you good flavor of what this ship was like, what the 6 days at sea was like?
Well, we have to admit that the crew on this ship were outstanding. The best bar on the Nieuw Statendam, go to
Panorama Bar.
Go upstairs to the Panorama's deck 10. That's where our rooms were, on deck 10. And John and Jay, the waiter and bartenders, they knew us by the end of the cruise.
Yeah, they just started giving me doubles. So doble. See.
We had to have it all planned, but it was an elite have it all. So we had the bar to us, whatever we wanted. And it was just, they were fun. They were always with a smile on their face. Our room stewards, two of them, were superb.
Mhm.
Nami Susi was Sarenge?
Sarah.
Um, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Had to go back there a second time. And
You can't go wrong on the Nieuw Statendam. Everything from the New York deli, the buffet, we ate there several times, which Mr. I hate a buffet.
I do.
But we had the New York dinner. We had steak dinner the first night there.
Yep, they did have, and it was a carne asada. It was excellent.
He had his salmon every morning. Every morning.
I tell you, this is the way to start off your day: smoked fish and 3 mimosas.
And he did.
I did
every day. The Nieuw Statendam, the entertainment. Rolling Stones had a band there that I know they're probably not there anymore. Well, that was disappointing.
Well, here, tell you what. I don't know the whole story, but they seem to be good musicians. They couldn't harmonize. They couldn't sing. We saw the social media. Everybody was complaining about this band.
Yeah.
There was a few things that they did kind of okay. They did Tom Petty, not too bad. But tell you, when the crowd got into it, and then here, heads up, Holland America or other cruise lines, when they started playing country music, they played like a 5 country tune set.
Yep.
And everybody got into it. Even the staff was dancing, and people were, they start playing their obscure, supposed to be classic rock, but wasn't stuff. Everybody sat down and got drinks. It's like, so my country music, I think, is a thing to do on
the Rolling Stone bar was really good. Waiters, excellent. Bartenders, knew how to make an amaretto sour, no problem there. They had a billboard piano. It's no longer the dueling piano. Oh boy, that was the big crisis. Oh, big crisis on our cruise.
There's only one piano. Oh no, the world's coming to an end.
But he was a lounge lizard singer. I'm sorry. But
if there was 2 of them, I would have pulled my hair. Wait a minute.
It was, if you knew, you know who Nieuw Statendam is? That's what he sounded like. So it was okay. But when we went to the world stage, the best performances we got that day were 2 performances that week. And who were they?
The Arcades.
Fantastic. They were, the world stage was packed to the gills every time that they were performing. And that was really a lot of fun. We had a lot of activities for sea days. A lot of activities for sea days.
Yep, take part in them. There was plenty of stuff to do.
Plenty to do. There was plenty of presentations. There was the cooking demo with the bad table. And
yeah, there was, they had wine tastings. They had whiskey tastings.
Yes, right. You went on the wine tasting.
Yeah.
And there was so much to do on those days. And so, let's wrap it up in a big bow. Would you do a transatlantic again?
In a heartbeat. Absolutely.
Absolutely. We're actually looking for another one to do because we enjoyed it so much. But this time, we want to fly from Europe here and then take the cruise here.
I want to just take 2 of them. I want to go there.
He wants to go back to back.
Tour Europe and come back. Why take a plane at all? It's so uncivilized.
The age of the cruise of our travel mates was higher. Okay, it was higher, and like Rich said, we had to take a couple of days to learn the patterns, and then we just did the opposite. And but you know what? Very nice people.
Oh yeah.
All there to have fun.
Yep.
How many times you were going around the promenade deck, and that's the one thing that I really do want to say that Holland America is set apart from other cruise lines. Their promenade deck, you can go out there and you can do your laps, and it's not like you're up on the top of the ship where you're going to get blown with high winds. You're in a really nice area where you can do these laps, and it's the fresh air.
I love a nice promenade.
It was
many
just
of these
great.
Cruise ships don't have it anymore. Some of them are so inward facing, and it's a lot of days at sea, but I find peace looking out over the ocean. For those of you with high stress jobs or high stress problems with a home,
a transatlantic, it just centers you back, and it was just wonderful, and definitely something we want to do again. So that kind of brings us to where we are now.
Well, we missed a music venue. Well, there's another good music venue, BB King Lounge.
Oh, BB King Lounge! Oh my gosh, that was I would have to say premier live band ever. And
not about ever, but on that ship, they were the best.
In all the cruises that we've just done,
the
premier live band.
Those musicians were excellent.
And the female singer
was outstanding.
This was really a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Mm-hmm. That was always something that we did do at least 3, 4, 5 times. I can't remember how many times we went there.
Oh, we did. Even if we didn't stay, we'd stop in there, have a drink, watch a little bit of the BB King All-Star band. The horn player was excellent. Drummer, great. It was, and I'm not dissing anybody else, but those really stood out to me. And the female singer, very, very, very good.
Definitely. And would we consider Holland America again? Yeah, definitely would. But we want to try other lines. We really, 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 really want to try other lines.
I want to see I want to see a transatlantic on another line. See what it's like. This was a particular special one. Went to certain places that we wanted to go. Had a historical focus that we wanted to see, and we got everything that we could have asked for and more. And the value of it.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
The value of it was outstanding.
And it's called booking early and knowing what time of year to book, because we did not see that deal that we got ever again.
Nope.
So if you're looking at a transatlantic, really need to start looking in March, the year before you want to go.
Like at least 9 months out. Really,
yeah. We could not find that deal again. And it was a balcony cabin that we had. We did the guarantee that they tell everybody not to do. We did a guarantee, and we ended up getting upgraded to the spa level. And
I didn't have any problem with it.
No, it was fantastic.
I was going to have an unobstructed balcony. Yep, the room was a little bit on the smaller side. The stateroom was. Balcony was definitely on the smaller side, but it was a balcony. You could step out on it. You could sit. There was a chair. You could sit out on it. It was a little bit chilly up there in the North Atlantic.
I took a nap out there. It was great. But, they give you a free blanket. It's great.
Yeah, they got a nice
and the bathroom was big enough. It was fantastic. They would take a shower.
It wasn't the
it wasn't as small as Embassy.
I will. Oh, that whole Toledo. That was.
That was just.
You could barely step into that and turn around in place.
Yeah. So anyway, we really enjoyed that a lot, and then so it leads us to where we're heading now, and the reason we decided to go in this. Okay, in June, unfortunately, I lost my job after 6 years. And it was like, okay, what are we going to do at my age? What are we going to do? And we had been looking for a long time about getting into the travel business. And it really solidified, I think, in November of last year, when we took our cruise to the Mediterranean. And then we said to you that we went on Regent 7 Seas. And I know a lot of you have seen the Crucidasi, you've seen Embarkation, you've seen the ship tour, but you haven't seen us review it. And I've been very hesitant to put that video out because we had a wonderful experience getting there. We had a wonderful experience on the ship until the last couple of days.
This was a real mixed bag of a cruise, and for a really, really high ticket price.
Very expensive.
I enjoyed the transatlantic on Holland America more than I enjoyed that one. It was twice as long, and it cost about a quarter of what that one cost.
Yeah, in the last half of the cruise that we went into the Mediterranean, we had just gone to Sicily, which was very important to me to get to Sicily because that's where my father's family is from. You got to go to Greece and Turkey, and those were amazing sights. And then we were headed to Naples, which was very important for me because that's where my mother's father is from. And where they lived was probably 5 or 6 blocks from the port. So we were going to go to Pompeii, which you wanted to go to really bad, and I wanted to see too. And then we were going to have the other half of the day to try to locate at least the area in which my grandfather was from. Unfortunately, and we never eat off ship, just to do some digestive stuff and just for safety reason. We always eat on ship.
And we did not this day either.
Yes, on this day, we only ate on ship. We came back from our excursion in Messina, and we went to the pool bar. You need to stick with hamburgers.
Yeah.
Really.
I just wanted something a little bit lighter, for a change. I mean, the pool bar, I'll tell you, the pool bar had, pool bar and grill, had excellent burgers. Every burger that I had there was outstanding. One was better than that, and they were big. Loved them. This day I thought, I just want a little light thing. I'm going to do the tuna.
He did the tuna burger. And then we went to the Asian Pacific Rim dinner for that night. And we got back to to our cabin, our suite, a beautiful suite. And Rich came down at 1:00, exactly 12 hours after eating his tuna burger, and came down with very bad food poisoning. The way the cabin was set up, the bedroom was here, the walk-in closet, and then the bathroom. So I'm such a light sleeper, but I didn't hear him, poor guy, all night. And then finally when I woke up, he said, I've been sick and we need to get help. And I'm like, okay. Kind of got out to the hallway to try to find our steward. I mistook the steward for a room attendant, and who rudely told me to go call the front desk. Called the front desk. They asked if he needed medical, which I told him no, he'd been sick for 5 hours. Everything's out now.
At this point, I was okay recovering.
But I did need assistance with sanitizing the bathroom, cleaning up the bathroom and whatnot. And they came, again, asked for medical, and we said, no, we don't need anything right now. And just, can you clean up the thing? And we thought there'd be follow-up. I'm from risk management. You fill out an incident report. You've got to find out where the client got sick, right? You want to, nothing, not a word. Never heard from anybody ever again. And then the next day we disembarked, and we disembarked into
Rome.
This has to be the worst experience ever. It's even worse than anything we experienced on M&C. This was terrible.
It was like going to the airport.
We swiped our card out, and the yelling began. The yelling began. In your face yelling at you. Now, remind you, we've never disembarked from this line before. Everywhere else we've ever disembarked on any other ship, we've taken our suitcases with us. Or Holland America in Seattle had the service where they took our luggage, and we didn't see it again until Orlando. So we didn't know, and nothing in the paperwork told us what to do. And I kept asking, what do we do now? Just go! 35 minutes of being yelled at. Finally, we secured our luggage. And then they said, go find your bus. What bus? Where?
There's 20 buses.
Go! And it kept on going. And finally, we found the bus. You had to help load your whole luggage. There were people older than us, in worse shape than us, trying to get to the bus. It was terrible. It was really terrible. And then we had a problem in the beginning because they have to do your airfare. And in Regent, you don't get a choice. They tell you what your airfare is and your plane, your flights. Going there, we wanted to get there a day earlier, so we went up to a higher cabin so that we'd get the free overnight. They didn't get us into Athens until after 6. Everything was closed. We had to be on a bus at 11 in the morning. 8 in the morning. So there was no time in the morning to go to any of the sites in Athens. We had asked our travel agent, can we get these flights changed? Because our return wasn't 1 flight, wasn't 2 flights, it was 3 flights. And what concerned me after 25 years of doing it on the corporate level was the time in between each flight was less than an hour. Now, if those of you who've traveled internationally know that you got to go through passport control at each one of these locations. We were late getting out of Rome. We were running. We got through passport control in Munich, running to the gate. Luckily, it hadn't boarded yet, but it was close. We got on the plane. We were late getting out of Munich. By the time we got to Montreal, a U.S. customs agent was there with a piece of paper with 13 names. She grabbed all 13 of us, and we ran through immigration. I mean, that was faster than anything we've ever been to. We never took off shoes, nothing. And then we got to the gate as they were boarding. When we got to Orlando, our luggage wasn't there. It was still in Munich. So I had gone to our travel agent before we left and said, can we get these changed? Because I'm not comfortable. And she said, no. We can cancel it, but then you have to pay for everything yourself. I even tried to call Regent to find out for myself, but they never called me back. So why do we tell the story? Well, we tell the story because we kind of figured out that, you know what? We've been doing a lot of this ourselves, not with the travel agent that we had hired. We'd like to do that and be your advocate, because now we've since learned with all the training that both Richard and I are training, and we have to take our test next week, and we will be certified travel agents. But we've also been certifying with cruise lines. Mm-hmm. And we have learned that you can call and be your advocate. And that's what we want to do, is we want to be your advocate. So if you're planning on some traveling, going places, please consider us. Drop us a line, hello@venerablетravels.com, Venerable Voyagers, venerablevoyagerstravel.com. And we'd love to help you and really get you the experience you deserve, because no one should have to experience what we did. Because you know what? The Transatlantic proved. And I pretty much took care of most of everything.
Service is the hallmark, and that's one of the reasons that we love Holland so much, is that times that we've been in Holland, the service has been outstanding, top to bottom. Everybody is so nice, so appreciative, smiling. I know it's a different, everyone is different. And I want to make that point here too. There are dozens and dozens of cruise lines out there, and not every cruise line is for every cruiser. Not every ship on that cruise line is for every cruiser. Doesn't mean that they are bad or good. There's some that are better than others. But some of it's just the application. What is your cruise profile? What is your tolerance? What is it you are looking for? If I can get a feel for those things, I can figure out what cruise line that I should recommend to you. I can find the itinerary for you. I can find the proper ship. I can suggest the venues that you might like to try.
And the excursions.
I mean, it's a big thing. A lot of people, here's the thing, a lot of people, they want to get on the ship, and the cruise ship is their destination, and that's perfectly fine. A lot of them leaving from the port over here is largely that way, the MSC one.
Yeah. It's party central.
You get on the ship, and you're going to a couple, you're going to the Bahamas, you're going to their private island, but a lot of it they're going for the ship experience. To me, I'm traveling. I want to see the places that I'm going. I want to enjoy the ship too.
Yeah, and what we've learned in the last couple of weeks, because we both became certified by Princess. We're so excited because we do have a cruise booked. December, we're going on the brand new Sun Princess in December. We're going to take our daughter, and we're going to Mexico, Belize, and Honduras, right? Rotan?
And
cannot wait for that and get on the new ship. But I also became certified with Royal Caribbean, so I'm really excited. Can't wait to get onto the Utopia to see what that's all about, because I see what's important to each line. And then last night I got fully certified with Virgin Voyages, which I am really, really excited. I know it sounds weird, but I am so excited about trying that, because really they are changing the way people cruise. It's no more worrying about specialty dining. It's no more worrying about paying for a beverage package that you can't possibly make the money back. You create the bar tab that you want there, and all the food is included. 20 eateries on each ship. And with the focus is on you and you're enjoying what you want to do. You want to relax? Relax. There's places to relax. You want to party? There's places to party. You want to drink? Here's your bar tab. And here's the cool thing. Now you can actually buy a round of drinks for you and your friends. Unlike when you have a beverage package, you can't do that. So it's just
you just buy it out of your.
But this is what your bar tab does. So there's lots of cruise lines. You're right now working on Cunard.
Working on Cunard, yes.
And I'm partly through NCL, Norwegian Cruise Line. And then I think I've also started another one. I really got to get a job. But anyway.
you're doing Disney right now.
No, I'm doing Disney right now too. So there is a cruise line for you. And it's okay. Any line that you like is your line. That's fine, because there's a line for you. And I think that's the big word that we want to put out there, is that what we've put out, what we've showed you guys, is our experience. Will it be yours? May not be, but it is the best way to travel, in our opinion, to see the world. And we can make it affordable to you. We can make it happen for you. That's the one thing we found.
It is one of the here's where the value comes in to me. Cruising, I want to see the world, and I'm not shy about saying I want to see the whole world. I want to get on every continent. I want to get into every country. I want to go see absolutely every historical and archaeological site on the planet. I want to have every experience everywhere. Okay, plain and simple. Guess what you can do? You can say you want to go to the Mediterranean. You want to see Greece. You want to see Italy. You want to see Spain. You want to see Portugal. You want to see
the Forge.
Greece. You want to go see the British Isles.
Iceland.
Yeah.
Hawaii. So you can see the world.
So you fly into one of these port cities. Say you go to Barcelona. That's a popular embarkation port in the Mediterranean. You get on a ship. You take your luggage out, put it in your stateroom. You unpack. You have, say, 10 days or something like that. 7, 10, 12, 14, whatever. They're different lengths, but let's just say it's 10 days. Now, I'm going to unpack one time. I'm going to take my hotel room with me to every city. I'm going to take my favorite restaurants with me to every city. I'm going to be with the same guests. I'm going to have the same cabin crew. I'm going to get to know them. They're going to get to know me. I'm going to have my favorite bars with me, these people. And guess what? We're going to have a sail away out from Barcelona. Hopefully we've seen some of Barcelona the day before. And next thing you know, we're going to be in, let's just say, northern Italy. We're going to be in Florence. There you can get off the ship. You can go explore on your own. You can have an excursion. You can go to the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Whatever. You can see Tuscany.
Just go.
Get back on the ship. Guess what? Your room is still there. Next day you get up and you're in Rome. Say, get off, you go see the Colosseum, you see the Pantheon, you go see the Trevi Fountain, whatever. Come back to the ship, your room is still there. Your restaurants are still there. Your clothes are still there.
It is, I've called it the civilized way to travel, because it's no hustle and bustle. Really, if you're interested, if you want to travel, to us, it's the best way to go to see a lot of the world in one little cruise, because in 7 days you can be at 4 different countries. But anyway, we've decided, and we're, also, it's not just that we're focusing on cruises, but that's pretty much our specialty is cruises. But we also live here in Orlando. We know the theme parks like the back of our hands, and we can help you navigate through the turnstiles of a theme park. And then the all-inclusive, if you just want to just fly once and sit down and not have to worry about being on a beach and just relaxing for 7 days, we got you covered there too. So if you are really interested in traveling the world, please consider using us, because we want to be able to be your advocate. And we know things that can go wrong, and we'll try to prepare that it doesn't happen, but to know that we've got your back. We've got your, to help you through anything. Just really consider using us. And that's the life update. The life update is Venerable Voyagers Travel. It will be opening by the end of next week. We're just waiting on a couple of licenses and also for us to pass our certifications, and then the doors will be open. So it's hitting that 1 hour mark. So we need to wrap it up and say thank you for spending your Saturday with us. Thank you for watching our videos. If you are not yet subscribed, please do so and tell a friend and share. We want to get our subscriber numbers up.
Yeah.
We'd like to hit 3 digits here.
Like, share, subscribe, recommend a friend.
And if anybody has any questions, you can put them in the chat real quick. If not, we'll wrap it up and say we will be doing this again. We try to do this every couple of weeks. And got anything else?
I've got more, but you wanted to cut us off there, so.
We said an hour, dear.
Oh, I didn't know that we had a time limit. I could talk about cruising all day. I could talk about travel all day, as you can tell. The all-inclusives, by the way, that's kind of like a cruise that doesn't go anywhere. If you don't care about going to different cities and you want to just enjoy the same type of thing with the included foods and all that, pick a very nice resort. We can find those for you. Those are some of the nicest things to do, but yeah.
Well, thanks, guys, for joining us. Have a fantastic weekend, and we look forward to talking to you soon. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and ring that bell so that if we do this again, you're notified right away. Thanks, guys. Have a great night. Bye.